All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Bri Rhea. I am going to be your Pilates instructor for today's class. So welcome to MS Views and News Movement Monday, our Pilates series on the chair. For today's class, you're going to need either a squishy ball. If you don't have that, use a pillow. If you have a band, like a TheraBand or something that you can like pull apart with, use that. If you don't have that, use a belt, something that you can hold on to and pull apart with. So without further ado, let's begin. So, of course, you'll need your body and your chair. So we'll begin with the band off to the side. Just keep that within arm's reach and the pillow out in front of you. So you're going to put the pillow, like I have a square pillow, but if you have like a rectangular pillow, go with the shorter side on your thighs. We're going to start with the heels together and your toes apart. So this is called our Pilates V position. And with your hands on top of the pillow. So it's okay if the pillow completely like collapses. We just need that feedback, that squish back. So from here, press down into the pillow. And so you'll feel the back of your arms starting to light up here. And as you're pushing down, can you engage a little bit more through the deep core? So drawing the belly button towards the spine or pulling the ribs together, or imagine that you're flattening and lengthening your spine. So all of that, like whatever image kind of comes to mind better for you, focus on that. Now you're going to keep the arms pressing into your pillow as you lift and lower your heels up and down for 10. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower, 9. So your arms might bend a little bit as you're lifting and lowering, and that's okay, but keep that pressure, like you're trying to smush that pillow down, and then keep that pressure as you're lowering your heels. 5 more. So starting with our footwork, 4, 3. So good seeing all these familiar faces again, 2. Now you hold your heels lifted, last one, and then lift your arms, press your arms. So your hands and your arms will lift, and then you press back down, keeping your heels lifted. If that feels like it's too challenging, lower the heels back down, but just starting to warm up a little bit more through the back of your arms. Now, as I state in every class, always, 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 please listen to your body first and foremost. Just because I'm telling you to do one thing does not mean you have to do it. Okay, listen to your body first. Make sure you have some water nearby. Make sure you are breathing. Let's go for 2 more. Inhale to lift, exhale to press. 1 more. Good. Lower your heels down and just let the pillow rest onto your thighs. So the goal here is to keep the pillow from moving. So if it kind of tips to the side or falls off, that's what we don't want. So you're going to keep your hands down by your side. If you want to rest them on the pillow, you can. But I want you to just straighten out one leg and watch that pillow doesn't move. Lower that leg down. We're going to alternate 5 each side or 10 total. So we want to make sure that you're obviously not lifting your leg too far up so that pillow doesn't tip, but you're also not just like lowering and dipping your leg down so the pillow doesn't tip. So keep it level, keep it flat. 3, 3, last 2, and 2. You're going to hold the leg, whichever one is on this last one, up. Okay, now press into the pillow. Notice how much more your legs are working or your core is working. And then just slide that leg out and in for 5, 4, 3, 2. Can you sit a little taller? 1. Lower that leg down and switch to the other side. Hold that leg lifted and slide it left, slide it right. Whichever way, like that leg opening and closing. 2 more. And after that last one, lower both legs down. Maybe take a moment there if you can like windshield wiper your legs side to side or move them back and forth. Just kind of get some movement in. Okay, pillow stays flat, hands stay flat. Start to lift and lower your shoulders up and down. So a lot of Pilates is about the decompression of your spine, the lengthening of your spine. So like the traction of your spine, whatever sort of other adjective I can think of to think of like you lifting your head away from your hips and pulling your hips away from your head. So now when your shoulders lower down, I just want you to keep them down as you hold onto your pillow now and push the pillow away from you. So it's kind of like a barrier between the screen and your heart. Okay. So now all you're going to do with your arms is smush the hands towards each other and then open back out again. Exhale to smush, 5, and inhale to open, 4, Three. We're trying to connect to the back of the body. Two. And the last one. So now when you open the arms, hold, take an exhale, keep holding. Now as you inhale, close the arms. Exhale, open. Exhale, 5 more. Wait, I think I just exhaled. So you want to inhale, just do the opposite breath. Inhale to close, exhale to open. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, placing that pillow down on top of your thighs again, one hand on top of the pillow. Okay, so I've got my right hand on top of the pillow. Left hand is just down by the side or wherever it feels comfortable. But you're gonna take the opposite leg. So I've got my right hand and my left leg that's going to be doing the work here. So my right leg, I'm just gonna go ahead and lengthen it out of the way. You might have to scoot yourself forward so that my leg is not even touching that pillow. Okay, so right hand, if you wanna move the pillow over, so the pillow's on top of the left leg. Okay, if you would go opposite, that's fine. So now from here, try to smush the pillow for the first 6, 5 to 6. 4. Staying tall and lifted. So anytime we move the extremities or the arms and the legs of the body, what connects them? The core does. Now hold that squish, hold that smush, and then try lifting your heel, maybe the whole leg up into the pillow. So if it's just a heel lift, that's great. The pillow will still move up into the hand. If you can lift the whole leg, notice how much more like the core starts to turn on for you. Try that 3 more times. 2. And last one. Okay, just hold that pillow in place there. You can relax the arm a little bit, but I'm going to take the pillow away just for a moment. And while you're there, hand over that pillow over the thigh, try to feel any sort of like energy that has lit up from the right shoulder to the left hip. Okay, so it's like a seat belt of energy, like you just hooked yourself in to the car. So notice that seat belt that's starting to light up from the opposite shoulder to the opposite hip. Okay, notice that it's like an X that's starting to come through the body. Now, I just want you to notice that. So now when we switch over to the other side, so pillow on top of the opposite leg, hand on top of that pillow. Left leg can just move out of the way so you're just not going to touch the pillow. Start with your 5 to 6 smushes and pushes of that pillow with the arm. When you push it down, can you feel how that seat belt from the left shoulder to the right hip is starting to maybe light up? Maybe you notice a little bit on the back of your arm, kind of under your armpit too. And that's literally like the energy line that wraps around for you to connect deeper into the core. Now, smush and push and hold that pillow down to either lift the heel or the entire leg up into that pillow 5 to 6 times. And keeping that left arm active so you can maintain that connection of the upper seatbelt energy. And then lifting the heel or the leg finds that connection of that lower part of the seatbelt. One more time. Good. So now just hold there again and see if you can, like, if you closed your eyes and you're looking in at yourself, can you find that light, that lit up energy in your body? Okay. So now bring both knees back under the pillow, both hands on top of the pillow. And this should feel familiar. We were here at the beginning of the class. With your heels together, your toes apart, your hands on top of the pillow. Can you smush the pillow down and feel how, as you smush it, like the ribs kind of close in towards each other. The abs draw in a little bit more and then lift back up, relax. Try that 5 more times. Smush and push. Inhale, lift. 4 more. 3. Last 2. And after that last one, we're going to take that pillow behind us. Okay. Hopefully that kind of helped us to find that connection of like drawing things in while still staying lifted and tall. So with that pillow behind us, you might have to scooch back like I'm doing onto the chair and lean back into that pillow. So it feels like you're not sitting up against something like a wall or something firm, but you obviously have that like squish behind you. Okay. If your feet do not come flat onto the ground, maybe putting yoga blocks under your feet or lifting your feet up so that you can put some books underneath so that you have something to push into can be helpful. All right, so smush that pillow behind you. So you're kind of like leaning back into extension. So you want to think of like pubic bone and belly button and rib cage pulling apart from each other, but still maintaining that energy. And then pull yourself back upright, hips hard and head in line. So we lift up and away, like you're trying to like shoot yourself off of the chair, and then pull yourself forward. I hope all this is making sense. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what's happening. So we inhale up and away, push into your feet, and then exhale, bring yourself back up. It's a tiny movement, but it's a mighty one. It's almost like you're trying to like push back and get your front feet off of, don't actually do that, but it's like you're trying to get the front of your chair feet off of the ground. We'll try that for 4 more times. Notice how maybe the glutes are starting to activate more. Your core is trying to lift you up taller and then pull you up straighter. 2 more times. All right, now last one. Now we're going to try that with the arms. So reach the arms out in front of you. And as you push back and lift up, your arms reach next to your ears if you can. And then exhale forward, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward. So this is training the brain and the body to be like, okay, even though I'm reaching back and it feels like, ooh, this could be like a nice stretch, but it's not. We are engaged and making sure that everything is turned on and everything stays on as you pull forward. Try that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. So now we stay upright, your hands, if you can. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here. This is called shave the head. And if you can't shave behind the head, you shave like you have a unicorn horn coming out of the top of your head. So you're going to create a diamond shape with your thumbs together and your fingers together. So that little diamond shape is going to reach up and you're sitting tall and you're going to shave down the back of your head. So your thumbs kind of graze the back of your head, elbows wide. Good job, you guys. And then reach up and out and away. So imagine you're trying to resist pulling those elbows wide and then resist pushing those arms away as if you're like pulling 100 pounds back behind you and then pushing 100 pounds away from you. So now imagine like all of that we just did of like the leaning back, the lifting up. We're not going to move the body, but can you lift up a little taller, like pinch up off of the seat 3 more times. Lift as you reach those arms a little taller. 2. And then last one, open the arms out to the side. A soft bend is in your elbows for hug a tree. So as your arms come together, can you keep the connection on the back of your body? Open the arms like you're pulling 2 iron fences away from each other, like the Hulk. You're trying to pull everything apart. And you're trying to push everything back together. So even though we don't have any weights, we don't need weights. You create the resistance for yourself. 5 more. There we go. Stay tall and lifted. Shoulders are soft. Neck is long. Last 3. Think of how it felt when we were pushing into that pillow. 2. Now imagine you're trying to break apart that pillow. Last one, open and close. When the arms come out in front, dive your body forward over the legs. Take a nice stretch there into the spine. So you can reach down for the ankles or the feet. Try to curl the spine as much as you can. And then stack up nice and tall, pushing into that pillow up behind you. And when you're stacked, hips, heart, and head back in line with each other. All right, good. So now with your arms up in front, I want your arms in line with your shoulders so the elbows do not drop or lift and lower. Okay, that'll be another movement. But for now, just pull and reach those arms back and forth for the first 8. So you'll pull back and reach away for this bicep curl. So now, as you're doing this, think of if you had your elbows on a shelf or on a table and you're trying to push your arms down. Don't actually push them down, but imagine you could. And like you're trying to pull something right to the temples of the face and like smush your face through whatever you're holding on to. 3. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull. 2. And then last one, when your arms go out and away, open the arms out to the side. We repeat that 8 times. So pull, don't lower those elbows, and reach. If you wanted to get a little bit of like a brain teaser here, you can do a little flick of the wrist. So when your arms lengthen out, flick the fingertips down, get a nice stretch through the wrists, and then pull fingertips towards the shoulders. Reach out, flick, and pull in, tap. 4 more. Inhale to lengthen. Are you still smushing that pillow behind you? Trying to use your abs, trying to push the ribs back. Last one. When your arms open out to the side, pull them out in front of you, lower them down. Okay. And now it's like we're kind of adding we're going to do one more movement and then we'll add all 3 together. So you're going to lift the arms up in front of the shoulders and then bend the arms, tap the shoulders, reach the arms out in front. And then as your arms come down, flick the wrists behind you. So you get a little bit of like a boop, a little fancy little flick back behind you. You just do this one for 5. So lift up, hold to shoulder height and tap the shoulders, reach out in front of you and pull the arms down, flick the wrists back. 4, reach up, tap the shoulders, reach out, flick the wrists back as you go down. 3. Think of yourself moving through quicksand. So you really got to like resist, and flick, and then resist as you lift and lift and lift and tap. One more time. Resist as you go down, continuously reaching those arms away from you, and resist as you come back up. All right. So now rest the arms just for a moment. We're going to add all 3 of those together. Technically, that last one was like the first one added in. So what's going to happen is I'll show you the first one. We're going to lift up, tap, open the elbows, then reach. And we go back the same way we came. So if you want to add that little flick at the end, you can. Then pull back in, hold onto your shoulders, elbows out in front, reach the arms forward and down to flick. So now it's a brain game. You reach up in front of the shoulders, tap the shoulders, open, reach out, flick the wrist, get a nice stretch through the wrists and the forearms, tap the shoulders, close the elbows, and reach back down, flick behind you. 3 more. Lift, tap and hold the shoulders, open, reach away, flick the wrists, tap the shoulders, hold, close the elbows, and repeat that 2 more times. Are you still pushing into your feet? Are you still pushing back into that pillow? Are you still lifting your spine as much as you can? So like pinch up off of your seat. Think of like a little bit of a pinch of your glute muscles together, your sits muscles. Last one, all the way down. Flick the wrist back. All right, you can give your wrists a little bit of a roll here. Maybe if you need to, shrug the shoulders or roll around the head or the neck. Okay. Those movements are meant to be like resistance. So if you're moving, you're like, I don't get it. I don't feel it. Like, and you're just flinging those arms around. Imagine somebody is like trying to push your arm down as you're lifting up, or trying to pull the arm up as you're lowering down. Like, you create the resistance for yourself. That will create more of that engagement for your own body. All right. So from here, you're going to slide the pillow up. So now it's not behind your low back. It's actually behind your shoulders. Okay. So this also does depend if you have like a higher back chair. If you're sitting on a stool, I didn't say that at the beginning, but scoot yourself against a wall, then you can do this just fine. Okay. So the pillow is now behind your shoulders, and I want you to scoot your hips forward. So you're kind of like, you're not slouching, but you are at an angle with your body. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what's going on. Okay. So the pillow just went from here to here, and then I scooched my hips forward. Okay, so kind of like in my own little recliner chair. Hands press onto or grab under your chair. I like the press though, so I can help lift myself up. Okay, and then we're going to start by lifting one heel at a time. We'll do 5 each side to begin. Just one heel alternating, and then lift the other heel, alternate. 3 more. You draw the abs in, still as if you were like finding that connection to the pillow behind you. Last one right side, last one left side. Now, when you lift that right heel, try to lift the whole leg, bringing the knee up into the chest, put the foot down, lift the opposite heel, pull it towards you. And so we're trying to do this without compromising any other part or shape of the body. So if when you lift that leg and you start to feel yourself kind of collapsing or pulling your body towards your knee, that's a no-no. We want to keep your body staying in the same position as you're marching in place. So It's almost, especially if your hands are pressing, it's almost as if you are trying to lift your hips up and pull that leg towards your chest. So if you wanted to try it, if you have the strength in your arms to hold your hips above the chair, that's a great progression. Okay, one more on the right side, one more on the left side. All right, so now stay where you are, reach the arms forward. Think of your hug the tree. So you're hugging around a tree, your elbows are slightly bent, your fingertips are trying to come together, and you're gonna lift up, stay tall as you start to lift the heel, maybe the leg, and then put it back down. Lift the other leg or just the heel and put it back down. Now that we've taken the hands away, we are trying not to like tilt to the right side or to the left side. We're trying to stay upright the entire time. So notice how much more you're pressing into the leg that's staying down onto the ground. We got 2 more each side. As you're lifting that leg, you're using those lower ab muscles to pull up and in. 1 more right side. Last one, left side. Awesome. So you can let the pillow just drop as you reach forward and round over your legs. And then you'll stack the spine up tall. Nice job. Place the hands onto the knees. We cat and cow by inhaling to pull the chest forward for your cow spine. And for your cat spine, push into the knees, round the spine back. We'll do 3 of each. Inhale to open the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, scoop the tailbone underneath of you. Inhale, lift. And exhale last time for your cat. Okay, so if your pillow just dropped to the ground like mine did, that's okay. We're going to the ground with your pillow. All right, so I'm going to stay to the side so you can see what's going on here. Your left or right foot, choose one foot on the pillow. Okay, and this is going to help to work the back of your legs as well as a little bit of the calves too. If it feels like more calves is being worked here, try to go more heel of your foot rather than like trying to dig or scoop with your toes. Okay, so put the whole foot onto the pillow. Your hands can come on top of to press or underneath of to pull, but you're trying to stay upright. If you need to come back against the chair, that's fine too. But from this position, push and smush into the pillow and then relax. We go for 7 more. Now, as you're doing this, as your body, we don't want the body to like move from right to left side as you're smushing, but to keep everything in that alignment. Okay, go for 4 more. And if you don't feel like you need the chair for that assistance to keep you still, like bring the arms out in front of you. You can still work the arms by holding them in that hug a tree. Now hold that smush of your pillow and try to drag the pillow towards you and then release it back out in front. So if you have like hardwood floors or carpet and the pillow is moving or not moving, that's fine. You want your foot to like drag closer towards you. And you can put your hand under your leg and feel those muscles working to drag your heel to your seat. We try that 5 more times. You're still like smushing down, keeping that pressure into the pillow. 3, 2, and last one. All right, like a little soccer ball, go ahead and pass the pillow over to the other side. And then we start with your smush for 8. Now, notice if when you press down into the pillow, does the other leg get lighter? Like notice if you could, like, would you be able to lift that leg up as you smush down into that pillow? So notice that whenever I ask you to lift the one leg up, press heavier into the opposite leg. So that's just a little trick if you haven't noticed that yet. Always these little nuggets of knowledge. 3 more. 2, you're going to hold that smush into the pillow. Don't let it go as you drag your heel towards you and then resist it back away from you. Drag it like you just stepped on a bug and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't like, maybe you did hope that you killed it and you're just trying to like get it off of your shoe. Maybe you stepped on mud and you're trying to scrape it off. Got 4 more. Resisting the urge to just like lean the body forward. Don't let that happen. Use just your leg. Well, it's not just your leg. It's also your core because your core is what's helping you to prevent this from happening. So if you can use your hamstring and your abs together, then we get this like complete like mastery of the movement. Awesome. After that last one, bring the pillow under both feet. Make sure it's even under both feet. Okay. Feet are in parallel. So they look like the number 11 right now. And hands are either on the chair or out to the side or in your hug a treat position. You get to choose. It's your practice, your body. Start by lifting both heels up and down and keeping your hips, your heart, your head all in alignment. Okay. So try to, like, when your heels lift, notice your knees come closer up to the chest. Can you hold that lift in 3 and think of holding that lift from your lower abs? 2. Now your heels stay lifted, toes are pressing down into the pillow, but can you press more into the pillow? Can you lift higher up out of your hips? And now from here, you're going to try marching one leg up, put it back down. March the other leg up, put it back down. And we're doing all of this without moving any other part of your body. Just that one leg lifts and then put it back down. Smush the other leg down and put and switch. One more each side. And rest. Okay, we got one more set here with the feet onto the pillow. So if holding those heels lifted is like not happening at all, just leave the heels down and think of just lifting the heel instead of the whole leg. Now we're going to add a twist, add a rotation to it. So you've got some options with the arms. You can go into that hug a tree option, feeling that the back of your body is holding those arms in place. Okay. You have the option to cross the arms in front of the chest if that feels too challenging, or to even just cross the arms like a genie or put the hands to palm center like a prayer. Great options, all of them. You figure out what feels best for your body. I got prayer. So that feels good because I can really like push my hands into each other and feel the back of my body and my core working a little bit more. Okay. So from that position, whichever arm position you've chosen, can you lift the heels, hold them lifted, drawing the abs in. Okay. And then from there, as you lift one leg, twist towards it. Lower the leg, look forward. We have 5 each side or 10 total, or just do as many as you can. Try to lift as tall as you can as you twist, as you twist, as you twist, and then lower that foot back down, look forward. Exhale, lift taller, 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 taller as your knee comes closer towards your elbow and lower back down. Are your hands, if you're in that prayer position, still pressing into each other? If they're in front of the heart, can you push them onto the shoulders a little bit more? One more each side. Lift as you twist. Last one, last side. As you twist. Awesome. Place everything down. If you want to take a roll forward or a roll up, or even a couple of cat and cows, maybe a nice extension. Listening to your body is like the first part of Pilates. All right, so you're going to pick that pillow up. You're going to place it back behind you so that we can always get that feedback behind us and into the core. Okay, so from here, you grab your band or your belt or whatever you have to hold on to. So especially if you do have a band, a stretchy band, that's awesome. I want you to start with the hands, and this also does depend on your tension, so be aware of that. Starting with your hands at shoulder distance, so shoulder width or shoulder distance, and then it's okay if you like spread your hands wider to get more tension into that band. Okay, so that's a great option. If you do have a belt that doesn't stretch like mine doesn't, I'm going to go out just about a hand's distance wider than my shoulders actually are. So feet are flat, back is pressing up and tall against that pillow at the lower back here. And you're going to lower the band down, lower the belt or the band down, and then lift it up. Inhale to lower, and then exhale to lift. As all of this is happening, you've got about 6 more. So I'm going to come off of the stool to show you what we do not want. So what we don't want is like this to happen. So we don't want any movement through the spine. We want to be able to stay nice and straight and tall the entire time, because the core is what's helping us to stay there, to stabilize and protect ourselves. So whoever's counting, let's say we got 3 more. Last 2, your arms will stay up on the next one. Okay, so it doesn't have to be all the way up overhead. It's to the height that you can maintain the connection to your spine. So you're pulling out onto that band, pull to the right or to the left, and get heavier through the hip that you're pulling away from. Lift back up and side bend to the other side. I almost said rotate. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just a side bend. 2 more each side, 3 total. Can you keep your shoulders down, your neck tall and long like a swan? So if you're going to the left, you're sitting heavier, heavier, heavier onto the right hip. And if you're going to the right, you're sitting heavier onto the left hip. Awesome. Now, holding your arms up overhead, if that feels uncomfortable, just keep the arms out in front. And we rotate from right to left. Exhale as you twist. Looking forward. Exhale as you twist. Okay, so I always used to, like, before I did Pilates, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so easy. But you are actively pulling apart in that band. So you're creating the work for yourself. You don't have to. This is your workout. This is your body. 1 more time each side. But if you showed up, like, why not work for it? Why not get the most out of it? All right, so put that band down for a moment. Give your shoulders a couple shrugs. Definitely need to get that. I can tell my left arm is definitely my more challenged side. It's not weaker, it's just more challenged because it definitely was working harder on that one. So now the middle of your band is going underneath of your right foot. Reach the right leg out in front of you. Now, especially if you have a stretchy band and if it is lighter, I definitely recommend choking up on it. You can either wrap your hands around and grab the band that way, or figure out what works best for you. All right, so from this position, it's like a row. So we are going to row the arms next to the side body and your leg will lift, okay? Lowering the leg down, your arms lengthen. Rowing the arms back, your leg will lift, okay? It doesn't have to be a big lift. It just looks like a big lift because my band my belt is fairly short in this pattern. But can you keep the opposite hip? So this is my right leg. Can you keep the left hip heavy into your seat? Make sure it just doesn't come up and you're not tilting over to the side. Got 4 more. Letting the elbows scrape the ribs like there's peanut butter that you're trying to scrape off of the rib cage. 3. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Or exhale, pull. 2. Getting a nice hamstring stretch here. And then we go last one. Okay, so let's try 6 to 7 more. This time my palms have turned down, my thumbs have pulled in, and we go for a high row. So the elbows go high in line with the shoulders, not up by the ears, but then you lower back down, reach the arms forward and repeat. So if you have a band that is stretchy or if you have a band that is longer, you choke up closer towards the feet for more tension, okay, or more of a stretch, or you choke down or closer to the tail ends for less tension. Less work, less challenge. Still a challenge though. We still want to make sure we're challenging ourselves. So go for 4 more. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. 3. And so this is bringing mobility into that leg too, getting a nice stretch while we work the upper body. And after your last one, we'll switch out those legs. So now we got to do 7 to 8 more of those low rows with the left foot under the band. Okay, and the hands holding on. Starting with that leg straight, it's just kind of like hanging out into that band. Thumbs up, palms in, low row. You pull the elbows back. Ooh, this side is way tighter. I cannot lift my leg as high, so I got to go down closer towards the tail ends. 7. And so that pillow behind us, are you still trying to lift up and out of your hips as you get a little bit of that engagement, pulling the ribs back into that pillow? 4 more. Last 3. In 2, we'll be talking about why mobility is so important for our bodies after this last one. Okay, so after that, we go into our high row. That means your palms turn down, your thumbs turn in towards each other. And as you pull back, your elbows go high as your shoulders, and then you lower back down. It might look like your leg might go a little higher, so maybe that's your high of the high row. But mobility is so important when it comes to any sort of movement in the body because it adds or it brings circulation to those parts of your body. Circulation is that blood flow. So more blood flow to the area means more oxygen to the area means more nutrients for your muscles and just all of the other like tendons and ligaments and nerves to get more of what they need to work properly. Okay, last 2. Pulling from the back. So remember, every time the arms move, even like on a push-up, the arms move from the back. After that last one, lower the leg down. You're going to put both feet now into the strap. We're not going to row with both feet. That would be really hard. But you are going to bring the arms out to the side. Okay. And so this is really for like us who have like a stationary band or like no tension. So if you do have tension, like that's even more challenging. That's great. All right, so from here, palms are up, thumbs are out. This is working the rotators of the shoulders. So you're going to open the palms, but keep your elbows into your side, and then turn or pull the hands back in towards each other. We open and then close. Sort of like you're opening two French doors and then closing them back in. Or maybe you're like, what did she say? And then come back in. So you're just spilling the tea, you're gossiping, you're like, oh my God, what did she just say to me? Pull the ribs back. Remember, keep that pressure onto your pillow. It's not going to be a pillow after this class. It's just going to be like a flat pillowcase at this point. 2. All right, now hold your arms out to the side. Last one, and then just hold here. Can you pull the elbows in a little bit more? Can you lower your shoulders down a little bit more? Can you open the chest, but keep pulling the ribs back a little bit more as your head is like lifting up towards the ceiling? And then relax the arms. Whew, if you were doing that right, you're going to feel that like right behind and below your armpits, those little tiny muscles back in there. Alrighty, so band comes off and away, back onto your legs. Okay, just let it rest there for a moment. Take a stretch as you reach down for your toes. And maybe if you're just hanging, like wiggle out the arms a couple times, or maybe a gentle shake of your head, no or yes. And then stack your spine up tall, smushing back into your pillow. Keep those ribs connected on the back side. And now this is where we bring that pillow up. Okay, up to the shoulders, and you scooch the hips forward, okay, just as we did before, but now we've got the band that we're going to be working with. Okay, so from this position, hands are just a little bit wider than shoulder width if you have a stationary band or a band that doesn't like pull apart. If you do have tension, you start shoulder distance and then you pull it apart, so you're a little bit wider than the shoulders. Feet are flat, spine is tall and lifted, so you have a straight line in that recliner chair. From here, we go down like you're putting an oar into the water and pull it back. Then lift it up like you're making an infinity sign. You go down to the left or right side. So you're just alternating infinity sign over, lift, infinity sign to the left, and lift. Exhale as you pull it back. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you pull it back. Inhale as you lift. So we're getting into that rotation, but also still connecting to the back of your arms and your body. Keep the tension into the band for as long as you can, for as much as you can. 2 more each side. Last one. And last one. Awesome. Place the band down for a moment. Just let it rest onto your legs. If you can, in this position, give yourself a little arch or extension spine, and then a curled spine, pulling those ribs back and in. 1 more time of each, or 2 more times. Just your cat and cow here. Grab the band, wider than shoulder width. Lift the arms up overhead. Your spine is straight. And then from here, you go off to the right side or left, side bending, and then coming back up. So it's your arms that kind of help to pull you into it. But you might feel what we're looking for is like a stretch from the ribs to the hips. But maybe you can think of yourself as like being on a roller coaster ride. Like you're like, wee, off to the left side, but get that stretch on the right side. 1 more time, get that stretch on the left side. Pull that band apart. Good, nice. And then off to the left side. Finish strong. Nice. Put the band down. Okay. Let it rest against your thighs. Take whatever stretch or wiggle that you need to. But in this case now, the band is going in front of your shin. So bring your feet together, knees together. And if you can, make sure that your arms are long. So you're not like pulling back like this, because sometimes it gets up into the neck or the top of the shoulders. So keep your arms long, holding onto the band so you can open the chest and keep the connection to the front of, or sorry, to the back of your arms there. All right. So from this position, think of pressing into your left shin. So the left shin into the band and try to pull your right leg up and away from that band. So you, like nothing else moves. You're just lifting one leg up, or maybe it's just the heel, push the other leg into the band and then push back down. Okay, this might be a little tricky, especially if you do have like a very sticky band. As I was trying this yesterday, I was like, oh, this could be hit or miss. So we'll just do a couple more here. But trying to hold that spine or the chest open as your spine stays long. Last one on that left side. Awesome. Keep the band where it is and then pull back on the band. So this works for those of you who have the stretchy band, and then relax. For those of us that have the stationary band, nothing's moving, but you're actively pulling back and then relaxing. So it's like if I didn't have the band here, so I'm like trying to do this motion. Okay. But since my band doesn't really move, I'm pulling back and then relaxing. Doesn't look like anything's happening, but there's a lot of work going on the back of my arms and the back of my body. Let's go for 3 more. 2 more. And after that last one, okay, we got 1 more set here. This time with an underhand grip under your band. Okay, so your palms are up, your thumbs are out. This time your elbows are next to your side and your hands are in front of your elbows. So you're actively pulling apart on that band. Okay, and then you're going to push out and away and then pull back in. So it's like our low row that we were doing at the beginning with the band. Exhale out and away. Inhale, pull back in. Each time you exhale, can you think of pulling the back ribs more into, like it's not touching, they're not touching the pillow on the lower part of the ribs, but like imagine they were. Okay, 2 more. Arms will stay out in front of you on the next and last one. Okay, now from there, how low can the arms go without changing any other position of the body? How high can the arms go? And get that nice stretch down the back of the arms. Lower and lift. 5, 4. Try to keep your thumbs turned out, your palms up. Now, especially if you have that band, sometimes our thumbs will turn up and our palms in. Don't let that happen. So you can get that, you can really enjoy that stretch. 2 more. Last one. Ooh. And as you lower down, go ahead and slide yourself forward, round the spine. Lift and roll yourself back up. Okay. Now, you're just going to scooch away from that pillow. We don't need it on this one. Feet are flat, about hip distance apart. And you're going to hold onto that band wider than shoulder width. So this is for our overhead press. So as you're holding onto that band, try to lift yourself up, keeping those ribs wrapped together on the front and keeping it flat on the back. So as you exhale, push the arms away. Inhale, pull back down. So think of this as like it's 100 pounds with that band. Press up and pull those 100 pounds back down in front of the chest. And pull. 4 more. Reach away. Pull. As long as you're breathing, press. Can you lift the spine up taller as you press? Not the shoulders, but the spine. So lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, like you're pushing the ceiling away. 1 more time. Hold the arms up overhead and then round the spine forward. Like you're trying to touch your toes. And as you stack the spine back up, you're going to pull those arms back in front of you. This time we add a twist. So each time you press up overhead, just 3 each side, you rotate to the right, exhale, keep your arms up overhead, rotate to the left, and then inhale, center, pull the arms back down. We do that 2 more times each side. So press up, rotate right, inhale, center, exhale, left, inhale, center, and down with the arms. 1 more each side. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, and then lower. Okay. Band goes back in front of the thighs. Last little bit here for our chest expansion. with our tricep extension. So from this position, you do have to start with the elbows bent and your body is leaning forward. Okay, so this is great if you do have that stretchy band. It's just as great if you don't. Okay, so even though there's no stretch in the band, you're going to be straightening the arms and driving the knuckles down to the ground. If you do have a stretchy band, your arms go back behind you and then you bend the arms back in. The arms go back behind you and then you bend the arms back in. Okay, so no matter where we're at, we're all bending and extending those arms. Bend and extend. Always keeping the tension into the band. Don't let any slack in the line go. For 3 more. Exhale to reach long. Inhale to bend. 2 more. Now hold the arms long wherever you're at. So if your band is stretchy, pulse the arms back an inch at a time for 8. If your band is stationary, open and close those arms for 8, 7, 6. If you started early, count for your 8. 3, 2, and 1. Lift all the way back up. Give your shoulders a nice little roll. So those movements are meant to help open the chest and work on those postural muscles to help you lift up and stand tall or sit tall. Okay. Now that band is coming around behind your shoulders and sort of like you're putting on like a shawl or a scarf or like you're wrapping yourself in a blanket. We want that band behind, not on top of the shoulders. So this is a great opportunity to feel the back of your muscles with our hug a tree. So the band is going to stay on top of the arms. I'm just going to come forward so you can see. I know that it's like my skin color basically. So with that band on top of the arms, but behind the shoulders, you're in that hug a tree position. Your arms come together and then they open out, but you're trying to break the band basically. And so notice that as you're trying to break the band, you're reaching forward. So you're trying to stretch that band across the back for 4 more. Lift up taller. 3, 2. And after your last one, hold the arms open. Lift one arm up, one arm down. Okay, keep that band behind the shoulders and switch. One arm presses down as the other arm reaches up and switch. Just 2 more each side, 3 total. Yeah, just little flip flops. Flip one arm up, flop the other arm down. Last one. Great. Okay. So just put that band down. Remember what that felt like to do our hug a tree and those flip flops. So now with the arms in that hug a tree position, feel that band still coming on top of the arms. We're just going to try 4 of those without the tension. So imagine you're trying to wrap around a big red oak tree and then open those arms out. Exhale to close. Like you're still trying to snap that band on the back of your body. 2. And then last one. Now when your arms open out, one arm comes up, one arm comes down. Okay. And then you switch. This is working on that internal and external rotation of the arms. 2 more each side. Try to keep those elbows lifted to shoulder height if you can the entire time. 1 more each way. Right arm up, left arm down. And switch. Beautiful. Woo. Give those arms a little shake, a little wiggle. All right, let's bring that pillow back into play here. It's going between the legs, right between the thighs. And so the closer the pillow is towards the groin rather than towards the knees, the more inner thighs to groin connection you're going to feel for your body. So you choose your Goldilocks. Where is that sweet spot for you? All right, so feet are planted flat. Now you want to walk the feet in close towards each other. They don't have to be touching, but close enough to where you could oh, I feel my inner thighs working. Not that you have to turn them on, but they're already starting on. So hands are down, either pressing or pulling under the chair to open, inhale, and to close the legs, exhale. So we're going to make sure that as all of this is happening, we got 7 more, 8 total, that you're not just collapsing and relaxing and then trying to lift yourself up, but you stay lifted the entire time. So you're actively pulling the top of your head towards the ceiling the entire time, pulling the back ribs behind you the entire time, not where you're sinking down, but where you're lifting up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that squeeze. So if you need to, walk the feet even closer together. Maybe they do touch this time. This is called can-can. So your hands do have to go down onto the chair behind you. Lean back into it. And as you're leaning back, you can keep the feet down, or can you lift the heels up? So it's just your toes onto the ground. We can the legs to the right, to the left, and to the right. Okay, so we're just going to keep going back and forth to the left, to the right, and to the left. Okay, so while you're moving, can you feel that lower band of the belly helping to keep those heels lifted, to keep those knees up closer towards the chest? We go one more time, right, left, then right. Okay, bring everything center, lower down. So if you notice the way that I was counting, go 1, 2, 3, or right, left, right. And then it was like, okay, then we go left, right, left. So that is the next progression on this can-can. So if you would like, it looks the same. Okay, with your heels lifted, hands behind you, chest open, shoulders back and down. Let's start to the right. So we go right, left, right. So that was 1, 2, 3. If you can, kick the right leg up, then lower it back down. You go left, you go right, you go left, and kick the left leg up and away. Keep squeezing and holding onto that pillow. Right, left, right, and kick. Bring it down. Go left, right, left, and kick with the left. One more time each side. Right, left, right. Good job, you guys. Not moving the body. It's just the legs. Left, last time, right, and hold to the left, kick to the left, bring it back down and center. Nice. So that was actually an intermediate movement there with a mat sequence called can-can. So the goal on that, maybe without the pillow, would be to just hover those feet off the ground and do a little can-can kick. Maybe with one leg, maybe with both legs. But that's more advanced. Okay, so let's get into our stretches. We're finishing up the class here. So just put all your props off to the side or out of the way so that you're not going to trip over them or move over them. And start with some wrist stretches. So if you're like showing off your rings, like put one hand fingertips down, and with the other hand on the back of your hand, pull those fingertips towards you. So you get a nice stretch on that front, or I guess like the back side of your wrist, depending on, I guess, which way you're looking at your wrist. Okay, now do that like you're accepting a gift and pull those fingertips back towards you. Okay, still working on that right arm. You're going to place the hand onto the opposite shoulder and then put the other hand behind your elbow. So a nice little tricep stretch, sort of maybe like you're trying to choke yourself out. So you can give yourself like a little pat on the back there, like you're trying to burp a baby. Okay. And then that same arm reaches up like you have a question. Bring the hand behind your head, okay? And that might already be a stretch, but your other hand is going to come onto the elbow again and try pushing the hand down. Don't force it down, okay? So we're not trying to yank ourselves into position. Like I didn't even have to put my hand on my elbow and I already felt the stretch down the back of the arms there. We did a lot of upper body work today. So now that right hand comes back behind you, grab onto your chair. So you grab onto that chair, thumb is down, palm is in, and lean your body forward, but look to the right. Your left hand, depending on how far you go, your left arm may even rest onto your thighs. Okay, so if you're not quite feeling a stretch, don't worry, we'll take it one step further if you would like. So when you come up, you take your hand all the way behind you to the opposite side of the chair. If you need to turn your body, you turn the body, but now your thumb is up. So now we're really opening up that shoulder, and then you lean your body forward. Okay, you don't even have to lean forward technically. Like if you're already feeling the stretch before the lean, just stay there. Great. Okay, now last stretch here with the right side. You're gonna actually come across the body, grab that side of the chair, and just pull. So you'll feel that behind the arm, maybe into the back of the shoulder. Take deep breaths. Notice how when you do take a deep breath, it helps to expand into that stretch a little bit more. All right, so from the top, left hand or the opposite hand, show off your rings, and then pull that hand back towards you. So fingertips are down, and get that stretch on the top back side of your wrist. Now flip, so you're accepting a gift, and then pull the fingertips back, okay? Depending on where you feel the tension, it might be in the wrist, maybe it's in the elbow, okay? But you never want to feel pain on these stretches. All right, take the left hand to the right shoulder, right hand behind the elbow, and like you're trying to choke yourself out or giving yourself a pat on the back, trying to burp a baby there. Good job. You guys showed up today. Happy Monday. Left arm reaches up like you have a question. Bring it down behind you, right between your shoulder blades. If that's already stretched, good, just stay there. If you want more of a stretch, bring that opposite hand onto the elbow. And without trying to like yank yourself into position, just press downward, pressing down and trying to walk your hand down like you're going to give yourself a wedgie. Oh, it's such a good stretch. Okay, good. All right, so now that hand with the thumb down comes behind you. Okay, so you're on the left side of your chair and lean forward. Try to look to the left or even up towards the ceiling, getting a nice neck stretch and a chest stretch. And then lift yourself up. Take the left hand to the outside or the opposite side of your chair. If you need to turn your body to the left a little bit more, that works. But trying to lean forward as an option or stay lifted as an option and feeling that stretch across the chest. I don't even need to go down on this one. I just feel it. All right. Then coming up out of it, your left hand comes across the body to grab onto that same side of your chair. Your right hand can help smush into that chair and just pull yourself away from the back of the chair. And maybe you feel this on the back of your arm, back of your, like right behind the armpit where your lat is. Oh, go ahead and lift back up. Nice job. Give yourself a couple of shoulder shrugs, shoulder rolls in one direction and the next. And we'll turn into your leg stretches. So like I am here, turn to the side. So my right side is up against or turn to the side, goodness gracious, the back of my chair. So everyone turn yourself so the right side of your body is to the back of your chair. So now your legs are out in front of you, but your left booty cheek is going to stay off of the chair and your left leg is going to go down to the ground. So we're kind of like in the supported lunge position. So I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. Okay, so here's your lunge right here. But now slide your left leg back behind you without like arching or dumping into your back. So can you keep your ribs pulled backwards and your tailbone trying to scoop forwards? And you're going to feel, if that's happening for you, ribs back, tailbone up and in, is that the front of your left hip is going to feel like a really good stretch right now. If you want more, lift the left arm up. And if you want more still, lean to the right side. And if you still want more, all of these are just optional. Rotate to the right side. You can hold on to the back of your chair. Whew. Make sure you're still breathing. Is that left leg still active? Okay, now unravel yourself. So come back the way you came. So the arm will untwist, lift, and then lower. And then slide your left leg forward. And then give me your best breakdance. Move around to the other side. Taking your time to get there. Okay, your right butt cheek is off of the chair so that you have room to slide your right leg behind you. Actively stretch it back behind you while still trying to scoop your tailbone underneath of you, trying to pull your ribs back and in, trying to lift your spine tall. And if you want more, right arm lifts. If you want more, right arm reaches to the left. If you still want more, right arm twists your body to look to the left. Oh, yeah. And so be aware, one side might feel different than the other, and that is a-okay. Just being aware of that, you know, I think I said that before, just being aware of that is like probably the first piece of Pilates. When you're ready, unravel yourself, to come back the way you came. Bring that leg back up. Whew. All right, great job today, guys. That is our time. So thank you so much for joining us for the MS Views and News Movement Mondays Pilates series. Again, my name is Bri. Hope to see you guys next month. Until then, see you then.